Tip number 1 is to make sure that your tabs are set up properly in whatever league you plan on playing. Make sure you go into the standard version of that league, whether it's hardcore, softcore, solo self-found, whatever, and you set up your tabs properly. This is vital to having a smooth and speedy league start. Especially setting up dump tabs is very important if you plan on playing in trade. You should set up a 1 chaos, 5 chaos, 10 chaos, and at the upward end, 50 chaos dump tab. So if you find items that you think will sell and you want to sell them quickly, you can just dump them into those tabs very quickly. Now, if you're also a player that is returning and you haven't played for a while, well, make sure you set up the tab affinities. This is a new system that allows you to control click certain items and they automatically go into the respective tab in your stash. You can set this up with premium tabs. You can do it with tabs like the currency tab, so that currency automatically goes from your inventory to that tab without you needing to actually travel to the tab. So it speeds everything up here. Tip number 2, make sure you have a leveling tree in place. If you're doing a league starter from a content creator, they definitely have a leveling tree on PoE. If you are just doing your own build, I would make sure you sculpt out a basic leveling tree, because when you are on league start and if you are trying to get to endgame as fast as possible and have a chill experience, you don't want to have to be making the hard decisions and pathing through the tree. You want to be thinking as little as possible and pushing and killing monsters super quickly, and a leveling tree will help you achieve exactly that. Tip number 3, for this particular league mechanic, I would start participating early. Now, a lot of times people would advise that you don't participate in the league mechanic on league start and you just try to get to maps as fast as possible. With this one though, I'd get in there and get the timers started. A lot of stuff appears to be timer driven for this particular mechanic. So if you want to get stuff active early, don't forgo the league mechanic like you may have in prior leagues. Lots of people just skip them entirely, go straight to the end. Don't do it with Settlers of Kalgur. Try out everything, see exactly what works. Maybe you can get some early rune crafts too that are super powerful. You might get lucky with recombinators. Participate in this particular league mechanic. Do not forget it, okay? And remember, you have to do it to unlock Faustus, which is the respec for gold and the currency exchange market. I believe that's at the very beginning of the league mechanic story and exploration though, so it won't take that long. So at the very least, make sure you talk to Faustus to unlock that stuff. And honestly, at the most, get all those timers going, get those shipments coming in. You want to get those awesome items coming your way. Tip number 4 is to opt into the new hidden mechanics. Go a little bit off the beaten path to find these hidden things that will probably help your league start tremendously. Last league, they added some into the early acts of the game, like the upper prison gaining a chemist strongbox, which drops tons of flasks, including quicksilver flasks. If you do some of these basic things at the start of the game, these hidden little mechanics, you could set yourself up for massive success on league start. You can also do the Legion monolith in the climb, get some nice rare items. In the caverns, you can get a special crafting recipe. There's bound to be a lot of this new hidden stuff in the game. Seek it out, go a little bit off the beaten path because it might reward you tremendously. Tip number 5 is to overlevel in the Chamber of Innocence. This is an Act 5 and it is an area that is super dense with monsters. It's very easy to reset and you can zoom through levels here if you are a bit behind, or if you feel like you're struggling a bit, you can get overleveled before you go and face Act 5 Kitava. I would suggest you farm this area multiple times over, and you can do so by holding Control and clicking on a waypoint. That'll allow you to create a new instance of this particular area with brand new packs, lots of new monsters, and lots of experience to behold. Tip number 6 is something I see a lot of people just completely forgo, and it shocks me. Always bench craft resistances. Do not do this, okay? In the campaign, it costs basically nothing to add resistances onto your gear. This will ensure you do not die and you don't have to go back to the beginning of areas, constantly die in boss fights, and the like. Make sure you spend those 30 seconds to go to your bench, craft some resistances onto your boots, your body armor, your helmet, your rings, whatever, so that you can push your way through the campaign. That is the simplest and fastest thing you can do to ensure that your character remains strong and does not die. Tip number 7 is to keep in mind the basic vendor recipe crafting system. Now, this is something that a lot of veteran players are aware of, newer players might not be aware of, and even veteran players might not utilize it to its fullest extent, but it can help you massively, especially when it comes to you not having good drops at League Start. You can do things like give boots with increased movement speed if you follow this particular recipe. You can up the physical damage on the weapons that you're using. You can do so much with basic vendor recipes. You just need to make sure that you are cognizant of the items that you are dropping and what various recipes they can be used in. This can help speed up your League Start massively, especially if you have all these recipes in mind upon League Start. We'll get one last tip in there. Tip number 8, one extra for you guys. Make sure that you keep hydrated, you stretch every few hours at the least, maybe do some push-ups, and you eat healthily. Seriously, it'll up your energy, your constitution levels, and it will enable you to push all the way to maps on that very first play session, no matter what type of player you are. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. If you enjoy it, I'll do more of this stuff. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I'm on the path to 25,000 subs by the end of the year. I hope you can help me achieve this goal. That's all for this video. Talakura, my fellow exiles.